Hey everyone. So here we are, day 17 of the 30-day ideas challenge. So I want to share with you a little practice that I started doing religiously every night, maybe I'm going to say a good 6 months ago, and I absolutely love it. Sometimes I will do it twice a day if I have time, even if it's just sitting there for 5 minutes. But what I'm actually talking about is facial reflexology. So it might be something you're familiar with, maybe you're not, maybe you've heard about it, maybe you've even tried it, maybe you also do it regularly. Let me know in the comments, or if you're catching the replay, do the hashtag replay. So, it's something that, as I said, I came across. It was someone that I follow on Instagram, and, they do the gua sha and, as I said, the facial reflexology. And I know she sings its merits, this particular lady. Her name's Liliana. And, for helping with balancing her hormones, helping with acne, things like that. So it got me intrigued. I thought, okay. So I looked into it a little bit. And as I said, I tried it. And that's probably my Aries rising. I like to take action. I move fast. Anyway, so I bought one just from Amazon. So there's different ones you can get. But it's very similar in ways to, reflexology that maybe you've had on your feet. So, there's different parts of the foot that correspond with different organs. And the whole thing with this is also with facial reflexology, there's different points that correspond with different organs, different body systems. So you're working with the skin, you're working with the fascia, and it's just, for me, you can use it for boosting your immune system, you can use it for hormones, you can use it for allergies, you can use it for headaches, when you've got a headache, but also even prevention. It's pretty phenomenal. And of course, there isn't the studies to back it up, but there's a lot of people that, actually, will teach it, or there's people that use it as their part of their profession. So, sometimes it could be a facialist or something like that. And I noticed there's even courses that you can take in facial reflexology, like diplomas and things like that. It's pretty incredible what you can study, what you can learn, what you can, master, so to speak. But anyway, as I said, for me, I just do it at night because it really helps calm my body, even if I'm watching TV. So there's parts that you don't go near if you're pregnant or you're lactating. So, you don't go anywhere around the lip area, like anywhere around here, because they say there can be ejection points there. So obviously it's not someone, you don't go there if you're pregnant. So, and there's other points too. So of course, if it's something that you're interested in and you're pregnant or you have a condition, go and check it out. Speak to your healthcare practitioner as always. Anyway, so some of the key points when it comes to really just calm the body to help you sleep. So I always start kind of at the top and then I move my, right down. So, and generally what you do on one side, you would do on the other. And what you can do is, if you notice there's little points where it almost gets stuck, like you can almost feel it's kind of a bit grainy, or, you just notice it feels tougher there to move it. You might want to focus a little bit longer in that point. You typically wouldn't do it any longer than 20 seconds max. It's not something you're going to spend hours, or like, because how sometimes if you press acupressure points, they'll say you've got to press it for 5 minutes. No, you're just like literally 20 seconds max. So, there's generally what, as I said, there's points that you can start on, like, the lip, and then moving up. And then, there's a point there on either side. And one of the ladies that I follow, Jackie Van Ruler, she's, got some amazing resources, and she also teaches this. I've got one of her courses, and there was another lady, as I said, I do one of her workshops, but she sort of found with people with COVID, that was kind of one of the points that was coming up the most for them. So as I said, generally, and, it's up to you kind of, obviously you don't want to do it too fast because it is meant to sort of be more relaxing. And then, generally what I then start to do is move sort of, there's points here, and it's interesting because the different points, as you sort of start to move down, it sort of moves down towards the feet. So around the eyes is kind of like maybe the ovary area, and more of the womb, the vagina area. So it's kind of like the eyes, the nose. But as I said, as you move down, there can kind of be, there's points there sort of for the feet, the bladder, and things like that. And it's interesting, there's different maps that you can find where they'll literally have different organs in different placements. So you can go and check all that out, but I would recommend going and following someone or learning from someone or doing a workshop or one of the courses of someone that actually kind of has been doing it for some time and they're really comfortable with it, and they can help you, work out where everything is. And sometimes they even offer online consults. But anyway, so there's points here that are quite good for, overthinking. So especially if you're an air sign like me, overthinking is probably, your thing. That's your go-to, your default. So anyway, as I said, there's a point there and it's really quite relaxing. So once again, you don't want to go any longer than 20 seconds, as they say. And you don't want to go too fast. And you just sort of notice if there's any points that feel, as I said, a bit granular or get a bit stuck with the pointer. And then you sort of work your way down. So you're sort of working, there's a pineal gland. As we know, that's how it helps with sleep. And then as you move further down, you've got the pituitary gland. And so you probably, you'll start to notice that there is points that, as I said, definitely feel like it's like the pointer just doesn't move properly. And then you can sort of work around the eyebrows. So there's kind of points here that are sort of like shoulders and neck. So if you're anything like me, that's where you hold your tension. So you can use, just do it around that area. And literally you are fine. As I said, you can do the same to the other side. But you will find there is points there, like it is so relaxing. As I said, it's something I literally do every night. And even now as I'm doing it, you'll probably find I'm going to start slowing down. It is, really relaxing. And then there's kind of points here that they say it's kind of just really to calm the body, sort of that pericardium area, they say. And once again, I find this quite relaxing as well. So as I said, there's different points, and according to what sequencing you do, there anything, like as I said, I've seen it for hormone balancing, for sleep, for headaches, for migraines, for immune system, for viruses, you name it. There's protocols for everything. So, and then there's a point here sort of where your glasses is, if you've got glasses on. It kind of crosses the bridge there. So there's a point there that sort of corresponds with the diaphragm. So, sometimes when you're stressed and you tend to shallow breathe. So you often find, I know when I start working there, you almost want to take a full breath. And then as you work your way down, there's a point here. It's a vitality point, but there's a point that really kind of brings you back into your body, which is great when you're a bit of an overthinker. As I said, like myself. And then there's kind of kidney points on either side of the nose. And we know in Chinese medicine, the kidneys are really important, They sort of have a role to play, with our life force, our chi, but also, with our bones, our reproductive organs, hair, everything. And then I also tend to do, there's a point on the right, which is the liver point. So I also tend to do that just to help sort of with the liver, because a lot of times our poor liver, can be struggling a little bit, with stress in particular. So obviously it's got to try and deal with that extra cortisol and adrenaline and stress hormones that are being produced. And then I also go on the left and I do the spleen as well. I mean, the spleen isn't really going to necessarily help with stress, but, why not? Anything we can do to also help the immune system. And then there's points sort of, they say, like that's kind of like the lung area. So it's interesting, when I tend to do that, there is points you'll find are quite granularly, which you kind of might want to do a bit more. And then, as I said, you can, do it on the other side. Oh, got stuck there, so probably focus a little bit extra there. And then there's points here that are kind of to do with the adrenals. So we know when we're tending to be in fight or flight, our poor adrenals are kind of definitely, overworking. So, but as I said, these points in particular, you don't go anywhere near that if you're pregnant or lactating or anything, especially pregnant. But, yeah, so, and you'll find, as I said, that some points do feel quite tender, or you are aware, you'll become aware of granular points. Yeah. And then when you move down, so there's points here for the bladder. So, just in terms of, say, like fear, when you're feeling a lot of fear, fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of getting sick, fear of something bad happening, whatever it might be. So I can sort of be helping with that. Yeah, so as I said, I'm definitely no expert. I'm not qualified in this, but this is generally the routine that I do every night. And as I said, it's just so calming to the body. So as someone that has tended to be in sympathetic nervous system dominant states for most of my life, and that's been verified in saliva tests and blood tests, higher cortisol. So I do, I support my adrenals, and anything that I can do, like, breath work, meditation, grounding, things like that, earthing, really does help. But this is just something, as I said, I've just, really been doing it a good 6 months. I do it each night, and it really helps me calm. So, maybe go check it out. As I said, there's a few great people you can look at online. So that Jackie Van Ruler, as I said, I quite like her. I've got one of her courses, and she's got some really good protocols that you can follow. And she's even got teacher training. And then, as I said, there's Liliana and Noise Skincare. And, there's different, practitioners out there that will share with you how to do these different sequences. But, I just sort of think, it's great when you can really embrace things on a very holistic level. So anyway, much love. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.